I found that the world.
Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know?
You don't know what it's like, baby.
The relationship between Barry and Robin Gibb, two of the three main members of the Bee Gees, was marked by both talent and success and by a series of disagreements and rivalries that almost ended the band at times. The Bee Gees achieved immense success, but the struggle for leadership and inflated egos, especially between Barry and Robin, created a conflict that lasted for many years. And there was strong competition between them, the brotherly bond was always present, and, in the end, the love between the brothers was stronger than any dispute. The Bee Gees began to stand out in the late 60s, but their real success came in the 1970s, with a change in their musical style towards the sound of disco music. Barry, Robin and Maurice were extremely talented, each with specific skills that they developed for the band's only one. Barry has a soft voice full of falsetto, while Robin brings a more melancholic tone and a distinct vibrato, very characteristic of the songs. Maurice, who also had a wonderful voice on the other hand, was the balance, the one who often acted as a mediator between his two brothers, helping to keep conflicts from getting out of hand. Robin and Barry had very different personalities. Robin, the second brother, had a more introspective vision and was always looking for innovation, wanting to explore different and deeper themes in his lyrics. Barry, on the other hand, who assumed a more central position in the band over time, was charismatic and more accessible, which led him to be seen as the face of the Bee Gees. He became, in a way, the natural leader of the group, a public figure and often the main songwriter and producer. This leadership role was not something consensual. Robin did not welcome the prominence and influence that Barry exerted, which eventually led to a series of frictions between them. The Bee Gees' first major crisis occurred in 1969, after an initial resounding success with songs such as Massachusetts and To Love Somebody.
I'm going back to
With the recognition came disagreements. Robin, who felt that his musical contribution was being undervalued, began to resent Barry's role as leader. He believed that his ideas and compositions were not taken seriously and that Barry was monopolizing creative decisions. The tension came to a head when Robin decided to leave the group, embarking on a solo career, which nearly destroyed the band. During this period, the Bee Gees were virtually disbanded, with Barry and Maurice working as a duo while Robin recorded his own album. The separation was painful for everyone, but especially for Maurice, who found himself caught in the middle of a conflict between two brothers. He tried unsuccessfully to reconcile them, but the rivalry between Barry and Robin was at such a high point that no intervention seemed to resolve it. It was only after a series of talks and attempts at reconciliation that the brothers came together again. In 1970, they decided to come back as a band and continue the Bee Gees project, realizing that together they were much stronger. The Bee Gees' return to success came in the second half of the 1970s with the release of the album Main Course and, later, the iconic Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, which launched the disco era and made the Bee Gees global superstars. Barry, who had developed a unique falsetto vocal style, became the band's dominant image and sound during this period. With songs such as Stayin' Alive, Night Fever and How Deep Is Your Love, Barry emerged as the voice of the Bee Gees, and the media often portrayed him as the group's undisputed leader. A new wave of success brought back Robin's old resentments. Although they were closer together and shared the stage, the battle for control and leadership of the band was still present. Robin, who was vocal about Barry's prominence, continued to feel that his own artistic vision was often ignored. Barry, in turn, saw the fake style he embodied as an innovation that had propelled the Bee Gees to the top, and which he felt justified in taking the lead. Maurice once again played the role of mediator, helping to calm tempers and keep the band together. Despite all the fighting, the Bee Gees continued to make music together, creating some of the biggest hits in history and winning fans around the world. Barry and Robin's relationship was complex. There was competition, yes, but also a deep brotherly love. In later interviews, both men spoke of how their moments of disagreement were balanced by a sense of mutual respect and understanding. Barry often mentioned that through their ups and downs, he always cared deeply for Robin and that no hurt could overcome the bond of family. After Maurice's death in 2003, Barry and Robin grew even closer. The loss of their brother made them reflect on the value of family and how precious time spent together was. Barry and Robin supported their music making, but Maurice's absence was painful and felt constantly. This period of mourning further strengthened the bond between Barry and Robin, who began to see each other more as brothers than rivals. When Robin passed away in 2012, Barry was devastated. He has confessed in interviews that he felt great sadness and regret for all the fights they had over the years. Barry also knows that, despite all their differences, he and Robin had a bond that nothing could break. Robin was his brother and, despite all their conflicts, he would always be a part of him. Barry has since honored his brother's memory by carrying on the Bee Gees' legacy as a way to celebrate the journey they shared together. The Bee Gees' story is not just about music and success, it is also a story of brotherly love, conflict, and forgiveness. Barry and Robin Gibb faced many disagreements throughout their lives, but in the end, what prevailed was their bond. The love they shared was stronger than any rivalry, and the legacy of the Bee Gees remains as a testament to the talent, resilience, and unity of these three brothers who, together, changed the history of music. In short, the relationship between Barry and Robin was complex and intense, full of ups and downs, but always anchored in the brotherly love they shared. This dynamic of rivalry and reconciliation not only shaped the music of the Bee Gees, but also helped create one of the most moving and prosperous stories in the world of music.
I